Hello and welcome to the video lecture series brought to you by St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. My name is Ravinder. I am an assistant professor with ATC department and we are discussing the subject Object Technologies and Programming in Java, that is OT and P in Java. And today we are going to discuss about the one of the founding pillars of your OOPS paradigm, that is inheritance, which we have discussed in the last lecture. There's one topic that I have left now, that is the difference between your OOPS paradigm and your procedural paradigm. We have discussed for a few seconds about the both, but the basic difference or in detailed difference between these two types of paradigms we haven't discussed yet, but I will do that in the at the end of this unit after discussing briefly about the founding pillars of your OOPS, that is inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, and all that. That is classes and object. I will discuss what are the basic or key differences between your object-oriented methodology and procedural paradigm of computing or your coding. Okay, because at that point of time you will be better able to understand the concept of classes and objects and what are the few of the keywords that I am going to use them inside the difference table. Okay, so after few lectures I am going to come on back to that particular topic. So today we are going to discuss about the inheritance. So let's get back to your notes. Okay. Now, inheritance in Java. Now, inheritance is a word that came out of the English word called inherit. That is, you take something that is of someone else after its permission. Okay, a son inherits the property of its father or of its parents. Okay? So the son inherits or takes the control of the property and everything else after the consent of its parents. And this is how the concept of inheritance in Java works actually. So inheritance in Java is a mechanism in which one object acquires all the properties and behaviors of the parent object. Okay. So it's an important parts of object-oriented programming system or OOPS paradigm. The idea behind inheritance in Java is that you can create a new class or classes that are built upon existing classes. When you inherit from an existing class, you can reuse the method and fields of the parent class, and moreover, you can add new methods and fields in your current class also. Okay, so you are going to take the idea from, or not the idea, but you can have to you are going to take the properties of your parent class. If you have inherited from a particular class called A, then you are the children class and class A will be your parent class. Okay, so these are the few of the terminologies we normally use in inheritance. So, so you are going to inherit the properties of your parent class. So if your parent class has a variable and a method, so now you are allowed to use that method as well as that variable. Even you are allowed to enhance that method and add your own methods. So you can basically make uh, yourself an improvement on your own parent class. Okay. So inheritance represents the is a relationship, which is also known as parent-child relationship. Suppose the parent class will be a car class. Okay. Now cars could be of let's say Honda City, could be Maruti Suzuki Ciaz. Okay, so Maruti Suzuki Ciaz and your Honda City and Hyundai Verna, all of these are actually classes in basic. So these are these are child classes, and its parent class will be the car class actually. Okay, so you can ask the question that Hyundai Verna is a car. Okay, uh, Honda City is a car. So you have to ask what is it actually. in basic reality, what is a Hyundai City? It is a car. So this is how you rebuild. This is how you build a relationship between parent and child. Okay. Now, why do we use inheritance in Java? First of all, for method overriding, that is called runtime polymorphism, and second is for code reusability. Now, code reusability makes more of a sense because suppose if your car class devises a method that okay, after the starting of the engine and after inserting the first gear, it should drive, its wheel should turn on. So that particular method of after turning on the key, that is the ignition and first gear, your car should move ahead as you accelerate. Okay, so that method is defined in your car class. So it need not to be defined again in its children classes. That is Hyundai Verna, Hyundai Honda City, and Maruti Suzuki Ciaz. All those classes we know that they are actually in basic cars, that is their parent class is the car class, and the method that after turning on the ignition and inserting the first gear and accelerating it actually moves ahead is already been defined in the car class, so it needs not to be defined inside these individual child classes again. So we are actually reusing the code. We are reusing the start method again in the child classes, although it has been defined in the parent class only. So I think you have got the point. Next is method overriding. Now it may be possible that the the actual method in the car class is turning on the key, getting in the first gear, and accelerating will move your car ahead. But it may be possible that your Hyundai Verna is a keyless entry and automatic gear shift car. So it's a special type of car, but it is basically a car. Okay. So after inheriting the method, inheriting the class, you have inherited the method that let's say what I have described earlier, that turning on the keys, let's say call that method as move on. So that move on method will be somewhat different in structure for Hyundai Verna because it in that particular method you don't need to turn on the key and you don't need to uh, insert the first gear because it's an automatic gear shift. Okay, so what you have done is you have actually improved that method, that is move on, which is basically described in your described in the parent class. So this is called method overriding. Method overriding means the method has already been defined in the parent class, but with same signature. Let me again remind you, the method's name and its signature, that is the return type and all these things will remain same, but the build of the method will can be changed. And if that build of the method has been changed, you can call that you have overridden the method. So you have improved the card class in somewhat way. So this is your basic uh, advantages of using inheritance. You can say that. Okay. Now, some of the terms that we use in inheritance is the class. A class, as we have already discussed in the previous lectures, is a group of objects which have common properties. It is basically a blueprint from which objects are created. I think we have discussed in detail about what a class and what an object could be. And then the child class, we have just discussed that a subclass is a class or child class is a class which actually inherits from the other class, and that other class will be your parent class. It is also called a derived class, extended class, or a child class. So there could be many names for it. Now, superclass or parent class. Superclass is a class from where the subclass inherits the feature. It is also called base class or parent class. So the example that we have taken from the beginning of this lecture is the car and the Hyundai Honda City, Hyundai Verna, and Maruti Suzuki Ciaz. So your superclass or parent class will be the car class, and your child class or subclasses will be your Honda City, your Hyundai Verna, and your Maruti Suzuki Ciaz. So I think you have got the point what I am trying to say. And last is reusability. I have already told you what the reusability means. Again, I am going to just repeat that. As the name specifies, the reusability is a mechanism which facilitates you to reuse the fields and methods of an existing class when you create a new class. So you can use the same fields and methods already defined in the previous class. Now, by previous class, what we mean here is the parent class. Okay. Now, how do we insert or how do we achieve inheritance in Java? Although we haven't discussed about the syntax of Java yet, but I am just going to give you a little glimpse of how it looks. So every class in a Java starts with a keyword called class, and then you will insert the name of the class. And inside these braces, you will write all the fields of the class. Fields means all the variables that you want to define, all the methods that you want to define. Okay. Now, if you want your class to extend some superclass, so all you have to do is or inherit its properties from a parent class. So in that case, all you have to do is use the keyword extends and then name of the superclass. So by again going back to our original example that we have taken up from the beginning of the class. So class Hyundai Honda City extends car. So car, the name before the extends keywords is the name of the subclass, and the name after the extends keywords is the name of the parent class. So parent class is car class, and your subclass or child class is Honda City class. And inside this, you can either add your own methods and own fields, okay, but still you will be able to use all the methods and fields of the your parent class, or you can override the methods of your parent class. Okay, we have just discussed what is that. Now extend keyword indicates that you are making a new class that derives from an existing class. The meaning of extends is to increase the functionality. Okay. In terminology of Java, a class which is inherited is called parent class or superclass, and new class is called child or subclass. Okay. Normally, I prefer parent and child. In that way, it makes more sense. Okay. So moving ahead, I have shown you a little bit of inheritance in action. So we have two classes. One class is employee class and other class is a programmer coder class. So if you have a company, you have an IT company, you will have employees, and those employees will be assigned with different roles. Suppose you have an employee which is actually a coder, and then you have employees which is an HR official, or you have an employee which is actually doing the work of of office boy or a peon, okay, or a janitor or something else. So everybody, each one of them is actually an employee, but then they are of some special kind of employees which have their own properties. Okay, so your employee could be your parent class or super class, in which you will define some of properties which is going to be common for all the employees. Like every employee will draw salary from the company because it is doing some work from the company. Okay. Now, coder or programmer is actually a child class of employee class. So it has inherited some of its features. And I have added an additional field. I have defined an additional variable in the programmer class, that is bonus. So every coder is an employee. Okay. So you got the is a relationship here. So every coder or programmer is an employee which draws his salary, but a coder also draws a bonus. I don't know about the other type of employees, but coder or programmer actually draws bonus also other than salary. So this particular class has access to salary and all the other fields which are defined in employee, and it has its own field, that is bonus. So you have got the point. That this coder is actually an employee, is a employee at the end. So it can access everything that is inside the employee, but then it can add some things on its own. So in this particular example, the coder is an employee, so it has access to the salary, but then because it is doing something special, it is also entitled to bonus also. Okay. Now, as displayed in the above figure, programmer is a subclass and employee is a superclass. Okay, like child and parent. The relationship between the two classes is programmer is employee. We have already told you that. And below that, you can see that we have written a small code in Java. Obviously, we haven't discussed about the Java code yet, but you will understand most of things. So this is a class, as I've already told you. A class in Java is always started with a keyword called class and then name of the class. And inside the bracket, I have defined a variable called salary, which is of type float and has a value of 40,000. I think you people are more than familiar with what variable, int, and float are. You have already gone through your C++ and C courses. And then we have a child class called programmer, which extends employee. So programmer is a child class and employee is your parent class. So now this has access to all the fields of employee class. So it adds its own int bonus field, which is actually 10,000 and of type int. Then we call the main function in Java. Like in C, we have to call the main function in Java. Main function is the function from where the Java compiler will started to look to your code. That it is that simple only. Now, the programmer P new programmer, we have created an object. As I've already told you in the few lectures before, that classes are just blueprints. You have to make an object out of it, which is actually a physical, can be called as a physical reality of the class. So physical reality of a coder class is created. Its name is P. Up until here, we have already defined how a coder will look, how it will behave. It will behave in a manner that it is going to draw salary as well as bonus. So now that coder is actually P. Now P dot salary. Now we have this is just a print statement. It will print something inside the console. Okay. So the programmer salary is P dot salary. P is the object. Dot salary is it will print its salary, which is actually 40,000. Okay. And next, the bonus of programmer is P dot bonus. So as you can see, it has access to its own field and it has access to its parent class fields. As you can see, the programmer salary is 40,000 and its bonus is 10,000. So it has access to both of its own fields and its other fields also. Okay. You have to wait for 1 minute. Okay. Now we have got to the point called types of inheritance in Java. Although I think this lecture is taking too long. Yeah. Okay. Now there will types of inheritance is the single inheritance, the multi-level inheritance, and hierarchical inheritance. Okay. As you can see in single inheritance, we have just seen an example that class B is actually extending from class A. In multiple level, let's say your class car is actually a child class of your automobile class. So automobile class maybe have an engine, a tire, and a fuel. And car is a special type of automobile which has four wheels. And then Honda City is a special type of car. I think you have got the relationship. So class A could be your automobile, class B will be your car, and class C will be your Honda City. So it is multi-level. One class is extended from another class. Okay, and this is actually the beauty of your OOPS. you have defined the you have actually defined the levels. So if you have a problem, or if you try to fix something in a particular class, all you have to do is look for its level, and it is not going to affect any other thing. Okay, so the very this is actually the beauty of OOPS, that you have described your complete code, you have structured your complete code into the classes, and classes are actually defined in the form of levels. Okay, and then hierarchical, in which a single class is actually extending two classes. Now, sorry, two classes are actually extending from a single class. You can say Maruti Ciaz and your Honda City, and that is perfectly possible. Okay, Maruti Ciaz could have its own functionality, can add its own methods, and Honda City can add its own exclusive methods. Okay, and then we have multiple. That is, a single class is actually extending from two parent classes, which is not done by the use of classes. In Java, the multiple inheritance is allowed only with the help of interfaces, which we haven't discussed yet. But let me tell you, multiple inheritance is allowed in classes in Java, but not by the use of classes, but by the use of inheritance. Oh, sorry, interfaces. So we'll not go into that. Last one is hybrid. So this is also can be done only by the use of uh, interfaces, or a mix of interfaces and classes. So I think I'm going to end this lecture here now. Why do we don't use classes for multiple inheritance? This question will be answered. I think will be answered in the unit third, where I will take I will take the topic of interfaces, and it will be answered there. And at that point of time, you will be better. You will be in a better position to understand what is actually happening. Okay, so I'll end this lecture here now. This is all for the inheritance topic.